just go with this.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it'll be recorded, and so they can go back and watch it. The previous session, not everybody was there either, so it works. It works. Okay, so let me get everything pulled up here. I always like to take notes with my team sessions more so than with my individual stuff. So I'll have all the notes pulled up, and then obviously your form as well. So you guys are collegiate team, 4.3K, GM2. You guys scrim 6 times per week.
Okay, I thought we were gonna scrim more than we actually were. Last semester we scrimmed like 6 times per week, but this semester people were more busy, so it's more like 3, 4.
That's still a lot. That's still a lot of scrimmaging for a collegiate team. Okay.
Yeah. We used to scrim almost every day, like every day that wasn't Monday. And then we had matches on Tuesday though, so I don't know if you count that. But
yeah. Okay, so 3 to 4 times.
We don't scrim 6 times a week. I thought we would. It was a month ago.
But still, 3 to 4 times a week is way more than the vast majority of collegiate, besides like Maryville and stuff like that. Okay,
Northwood.
Yeah, pretty much the Overwatch. I mean the collegiate teams. What do you hope to get the session? We've done one session with you before. Yeah. Very informative. Okay, So I guess like now that we're back again, what's the difference? How have y'all been? How's practice been? What are we looking at today?
I think it's been good. We've like kind of been struggling to adapt to the RAM meta because our comp was like the Sig like Brawl hybrid where you go like Sig, Mei, Soj, Lucio, Bat.
Yeah.
And that's what we were voting in our last session, along with the Zarya Genji bubble engage thing, which we don't usually play anymore. Okay. So we're doing the Sig Mei. It's been going. It was really good last season. We found a lot of success with it last season, but we were kind of struggling to adapt to like the new Queen and Ram that were coming out, and so we have some VODs of trying to play the Ram version of that comp, and then also trying to beat the Queen with that comp.
Yeah.
And the team play's gotten a lot better. It's the same team as last semester, so we're same exact people. Our coordination is a lot better. We have a lot of better strats going. I think we've improved since then.
Okay,
and
we're definitely better at.
We learned
players.
a lot from the. Sorry.
We're also way better, like individually.
Yeah.
Like we've been playing
nice.
this year.
So just like mechanics and like been grinding your rank and getting your rank up.
Yeah. I mean, I almost never played Mei back then, and now I'm like playing Mei all the time.
Is that like an admission of guilt or like what? I know.
Wait, sorry, say that again?
I said, is that an admission to guilt? You've been sucked into the Mei jail, and you're embracing it.
And
Stockholm syndrome.
Milk's been stuck in the Lucio jail, but he's also embracing it. He started watching Frogger.
I love Lucio now. Big fan.
Nice. Yeah, they're definitely off the goop then. Watching Frogger and all that. Oh my goodness.
That's what I'm saying. Like they got sucked in. They drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, apparently. Okay. As long as it's not like Junkrat or Roadhog, I think we're okay. Okay.
Our
more
tank player, his main is Junkrat.
Wait, your tank player means Junkrat? How did I know that?
Exactly.
Okay.
He goes in ranked and just plays junk. He has like more hours in junk than he has in his tank. Although he just plays a ton of the game, so it's like he still has like 50 hours on tank. He just plays stupid amounts of Junkrat.
Okay. I guess we all need different ways to blow off steam. Some of us, I just causes more steam for others to blow off. Ram JQ matchup specifically, you were saying needs to be looked at.
Yeah, and Sig JQ because we've still been playing that old comp. I think it still has viability in some scenarios.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. Goals. What do you feel is holding back the team from improving? Target priority, fight plans, and lack of team comp flexibility. I assume the fight planning has improved since last one. I hope.
It definitely has. Although the one thing that is definitely weaker than our like average elo is ult tracking. We've started doing it more, and we've started like getting better at it. But sometimes we'll just be way off. I'll be like, "Hey, they have overclock," and they're like 30 to overclock. So like, it's definitely not perfect. It's got a little room to grow. We still are like roughly aware of the ults that they have, and we'd make team plans out of it. But sometimes either we will be wrong about one ult they have, or they'll like hit us with left field with an ult that we thought they didn't have, right?
Yeah.
So it happens sometimes.
What I would do is I would try to identify what characters that's happening the most with. If it's happening, for example, the most with the DPS, what I would start trying to pay more attention to, and this could be just the Lucio or whoever's ult tracking here, try to practice a better read of how they're positioning and how much resources they're getting. Because if you're off by that much, you're either not paying attention to how quickly they died in a fight or how long they lived. And then you're also not paying attention to how aggressive their off angle is. Like if they're doing like the whole Seeker and Flash Ops thing where they're like pairing Vega with Seeker at the off angle 24/7, they're probably going to have a bit more Soj ult than you think, right?
Yeah.
But if there's Sojourn sitting back and has died first last fight, like to me, the way to work at ult tracking is if your general estimate is off, then you need to actually pick where or who you're off on and pay more attention to that player just for practice.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely happens a lot with Sojourn, probably the most, because she's just like a poke hero. You kind of don't really consider how much ult she's farming off your tank until it's too late.
Yeah.
So
just like look at the situation. Like you could also look at like you really especially on first fight, there's almost no excuse to be off.
You know, you just look at the
scoreboard. You just press the right, exactly. Yeah, just press tab and you should have an idea. So what I would do is if you're off and ult tracking in like specific ways, I would, instead of just being, it's such a vague skill, try to find something tangible to hang your hat off of, whether that's let's press tab on first fight more, or let's see how much resource she's getting more often. Just put emphasis on that and don't be like, we're going to work at our ult tracking overall. Work at ult tracking one hero.
Like
one
Sojourn.
hero.
Okay.
You'd like Sojourn or whoever you're getting wrong.
Sojourn, we're usually pretty good about, they have Queen ult, they have beat, they have rally or that kind of thing. It's sometimes the DPS ults catch us. And, sometimes we just straight up forget. Like, I watched the VOD of our match yesterday, and they trans my Blizzard, and then, like, literally 30 seconds later, I was like, hey, guys, they have trans. And my team was like, no, they don't. They just trans. So, like, sometimes we just forget, Yeah,
I mean, that happens. That happens. That's the kind of stuff that you'll just get better at with time. But then the other ones, if you're specifically, like, struggling in some way, shape, or form in one specific ultimate, then, you need to give that one a little bit more focus.
Okay,
sure.
Sounds good.
Any other questions? Anything else that you guys have before I guess we could just look at some gameplay.
So you were saying you think that ult tracking is related to, like, positioning more?
Yeah, that's one of the things. Like I said, it's more about like how much resources they get and then how aggressively they're positioned, like how aggressive their angle is. Like I said earlier in the Flash Ops, like last December, Seeker was like building ult charge like crazy on Sojourn because he had a perma Lucio pocket on an off angle. Which meant that they were not
able to do a lot more damage.
Right. So he was just able to position more aggressively and hold those angles for longer. And so that's the kind of stuff that you'd want to look at. It's like how aggressively is that person positioned? Like how much pocket are they getting, right? Because it could be the opposite. It could be like their tank is like their Sojourn's like kind of playing main, and then their tank is getting like full Kiri Lucio pocket 24/7. Then you could probably guess that either Kiri or the JQ is building ultimate really fast. But yeah, that's kind of like what you're looking for.
Right. Another question for Seeker's team. We tried to do Lucio Soj off angles a lot, and we've really started to incorporate it. But a lot of times we can struggle like getting run over in the front line. Our Maybap Ram or Maybap Sig. If we go on too aggressive of an angle and hold it for too long, how did they manage like kiting their Lucio to places where he needed to be in case the three players in the front got ran over?
It's all about spacing. The key thing is when you're playing Ram comp, your Ram May should, and if you're splitting your Lucio Soj especially, there's no reason for your May to be rushed upon by Vortex Nemesis form. There's no benefit for your May to be stacking with your Ram at that point in time. Your Ram's holding a corner. May can play a slight off angle split just a little bit further from the Ram so she's not within punch range. And then, Bap or Kiri or whatever is playing a little bit further back. And then you're also doing it on locations or ult situations when you don't really need to kite. For example, it's really, really easy to hold your Lucio Sojourn on off angle, Ram on a corner, May a little bit further back, and Bap wherever, if they don't have beat, if they don't have Blizzard. If they don't have, Sojourn on, right? So then in situations where you need to kite and so on, or you need to push and pull, then Lucio has to be a little bit further forward. Because I saw that with, was it Timeless? Whatever. When they were,
I think it was Timeless.
Yeah, it was Timeless. When they were on the JQ comp, right? And then they were playing into like the Moira Reaper May stuff. They really struggled because Vega was holding with Seeker when he should not have been holding with Seeker. Like you can't hold the Seeker into that composition because the JQ just gets sped on 24/7.
Yeah, at the very least, you got to be like ready on a dime.
Exactly.
Out of there.
But Ram shouldn't die to anything. Ram should not die to anything. Like block alone. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, I was just gonna block alone. Like keeps him alive unless they have some form of CC. Like he just doesn't die. So like you could let your Ram just be on an island while the DPS are getting full support angles.
Okay, I see. So if they have a rush ultimate, we need to be more careful. But if we're not, we just play Mei as a poke hero, Ram holding a corner, and then Lucio Soj off angle.
Sure. And specifically, your Mei spacing is really important because your Ram should never die. Your Ram should never die, but your Mei can absolutely die.
That's me, and I've been noticing dying a lot when Lucio Soj goes on an off angle, so I need to play further away, I think.
Yeah, well, further away and on deeper cover and greeting your ice block more and being like more creative with your... Because like the other thing is as well, it's like when you're playing your Lucio Soj on an off angle, you're not necessarily playing wall the enemy Mei, push the enemy Mei, force their ice block. That's not really what you're playing for anymore.
Yeah, you're playing more like while they're engaged.
Right, while they're engaged, slow down their engaged, don't get your ice block forced, and so on.
Halfway through our match yesterday, which is probably where all of our VODs are going to come from, we kind of realized that I was walling the queen to try and like go on her when I needed to just wait for shout and then use it then. And I think that was like a big game changer.
Sure. What were you guys playing tank-wise?
We were on Ram and then we switched over to Sig.
And then the question, did you have Lucio with you when you were walling the queen or not?
Yes, we did.
I don't think it's necessarily always bad to push the queen if you have Ram and Lucio with you.
Okay, really?
I would have to see how it's done. Yeah, I would have to see how it's done. But in theory, Jun-Q should be very vulnerable to that.
All right, we had the VODs pulled up. Our BAP was really struggling staying alive, so I feel like I had to wait, like save it for him because they also had like Genji dive. But we can look at the VODs and see.
Yeah, it could be that. It could be the JQ Genji. Like you're playing, your Lucio's not like on the speed train as much, and more playing like to deny their dive angle. So that might have been the difficulty. It's definitely, I would say, it's a tough matchup for both teams, really. Okay. Any other questions before we just jump into codes?
No, I don't think so.
I think we're good.
All right. Shoot me what you got.
Do you have access to VOD review?
The channel?
Yeah.
If not, I can give you... Actually, let me just give you a role anyways. 1 sec. All right. I gave you a role. You should have access to it now.
Okay. I got it. Is it the which one from this one?
Let's do King's Row first.
King's Row. What's the matchup here? Ram JQ.
Yeah, Ram.
Yeah.
Ram JQ. Okay.
You know, I didn't think about this milk, but Busan might be useful, like the poke map.
I mean, I don't know how useful it'll be because I was just like not able to see the game.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, never mind. You're right.
Yeah.
So there's two ways to really look at this matchup. I think there's two ways to look at like every matchup. There's the cheat way where it's like 4-head, you could just do this. And then there's the 5-head where it's like, well, they know that we're going to do this. And so this is going to be their counterplay. So this is our counterplay to their counterplay. And then usually what ends up happening is it comes down to you guys fighting for that. So what's the 4 or 3-head or 2-head? How do we kill this composition as a Ram?
Just wall the queen and
wall the queen and wall counter. Right. So then how are they going to counterplay that?
They're going to have amp speed, they're going to have shout to get away, and then if they don't need either of those, they're going to wait till the wall's over and then rush in, knowing that they don't have wall.
Right. And it's not just the counterplay in terms of what they're going to do to stop you. Let me ask you one more question. What are they going to do to punish you for doing that? So they have counterplay to the wall play.
Ice block. They're going to force one ice block.
They're going to force ice block. How?
They're gonna because they're gonna know I'm like defenseless and just
pretty much
if Genji dive me, they're gonna have like Kiri taking
that's it right there. See, that's it. That's the counterplay that we're looking for, right? It's not just countering what you do, but then playing to their own win conditions, playing to their own solutions, which is going to be Genji angles, Sojourn angles that you guys can't contest because you don't have Genji, right?
Yeah.
So that's the key thing for you guys. Is just looking for situations when you can wall and JQ when you don't have to worry about a Genji or Sojourn off angle.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, we were trying to put Milk and Perk on the high ground to contest it, but I think we lose control of it over this fight because it's just hard to hold high ground versus that comp.
And that's the additional thing here. So this is the 5-head, right? So that we know that like we can go for backline, wall the tank, rush her down if we play our cards right? But if they play their cards right, that might be difficult to do. In which case, what's our 5-head play? How do we deny what they want to do?
Wait for their engage to wall, unless we like.
But what's their engage? Like seriously, like think about it. What is their engage going to be?
Shout dash.
Maybe. Onto what?
Onto BAP or high ground perk.
But you kind of see what I'm saying. That's kind of tricky though. Like how are they going to get to your Baptiste?
That's my question, bro. I don't know how they got to our Baptiste so much.
Let's just watch this. Did it happen first fight?
Yeah, well. I just got knifed and forced both my cooldowns. I don't know if it happened first fight.
I'll let it play for just a second.
He's on high ground, so it should be tough to get to him.
Do you see what's happening on your screen with the red and blue?
Yeah, they've taken more space on the point. Their Sojourn has a high ground off angle.
And the Sojourn off angle...
No, Lucio's going to help him.
And now the Sojourn off angle has forced your Baptiste to play where?
Low ground.
Right? And so then now what do they have, in theory, the capability to do?
Rush through hotel, maybe?
Rush through hotel, and then all of a sudden we're asking, how did my Bap die? This is why. Their job is they want to take angles away from you guys. And if they are able to take angles away from you guys, position their Sojourn, position their Genji on angles, they will be able to access your Baptiste by squeezing him out of good positions.
Okay.
So your 3-head play here, it's to group up, not to get freaking knifed by the JQ and get both your CDs forced.
I got both my CDs forced.
So that if they do anything that resembles this, you wall the JQ and she dies instantly. Right?
Okay.
Hey, congratulations. If that opportunity does not present itself, what do you guys as a unit, as a team, need to be doing better? This is a tough one. Remember, how do they win?
Taking off angles away from us.
How do you stop them from taking off angles away from you guys?
We could really try and contest it with Lucio Soj as much as we can.
And not just Lucio Soj. Not just Lucio Soj. You're missing somebody very important here.
Bat?
You.
How do I get the high ground?
If only there was a solution to that. And don't forget, your wall.
Oh, I guess I could walk over on wall, but would I take a lot of poke?
Sure. So in this exact situation, yes, the answer is no. But the question is that the only off angle that you need to be worried about?
No, hotel is that this can be considered an off angle here.
Right. So you're married to your Ramacha right now because you're looking for walls like this, but who says that this is the thing that you're able to... You're not even able to push this here, so what's the point of this wall?
Yeah, it was a terrible wall.
Right? Whereas this here, what this is doing is saying, crap, we lost the Sojourn angle on the high ground. So I know what this Genji Lucio are going to try to do, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop them from doing this. So you're probably already doing this on purpose a little bit, but if your Baptiste has confidence that he's not going to get shot in the back, then we're good to go.
Yeah, I noticed this because I did it earlier on a map, and I was able to just
This is good. See, this is the backbone, Mei, is what it is, where it's like we can't just wall rush the backline every single time. So what do we do? What else can Mei do? And what Mei has is she has 250 HP and an ice block and a close range weapon and wall for utility. You understand what I'm saying? So if you take an angle like this, and heck, even the poke of your Mei is better than a Genji, for example, right? So if you want to hold a longer off angle and throw icicles, it's tricky for them to stage on you. That's what Mei does. So you're slow, but when you choose or you find an angle, you can really do a good job holding down that angle to defend your team's position.
Okay, I see. When you said hold off angles, I thought you meant high ground, and I was really confused. But no, I'm definitely the hotel
mean high ground. It might mean high ground, but it's just be flexible. See what's available right now. Because look at this. Does your Ram need your help right now?
Not really. No. He's
what would you be doing if you were with your Ram anyway?
Probably not a lot. Maybe just shooting Genji and looking for a wall. That's about it.
Right, and wall on what? Truly, right? Even this here is not exactly the best thing that, it doesn't feel like there's a lot that you could do here. So let's talk about this. What could you do with wall here?
Maybe wall off the
Soj Lucio.
If you could reach it, yes. If you could reach it, yes. Here's another thing that you can do with wall. Hold the angle here, poke. They turn and look at you, wall, rotate back to main.
Okay.
They waste the time, you hold your ice block, and then drop the wall, and then rotate back again, you still have your ice block. And you're still harassing backline.
So I'm just playing... No, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say I'm playing wall like it's Soldier's heel pad, and I'm just taking an off angle with it.
That's it. Your problem here is that your wall here gets no actual pressure. And you ready for this? Why the frick are you going back? What are you expecting to see here?
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean.
You just took you had a lot of pressure on this backline, and then you just totally took the foot off the gas and allowed them to relax because you rotated back in main.
Okay.
What you could do is you could go here, shoot, rotate back in main, wall push on the JQ if you wanted to. You could do that. But you don't even have your wall anymore, so why would you rotate back? What are you wall pushing here?
I'm not going to get wall, so I might as well take the free poke they're giving me.
Right. So the reason why, and one other thing as well that you guys have to keep in mind as well is that it's not just your responsibility either. This is something that the angle that you're taking right here, your Lucio Sojourn could have taken that angle too.
Yeah, I guess when they get kicked off high ground, they might as well go like through to statue.
Right. You can't.
They're not doing a lot on arches.
That's it. When you lose an angle or you lose space, you don't just throw up your hands and be like, GG's guys, I guess we lose. We have no space. You have to fight for you. Because think about it. What if they lost by going here? What control is over here?
Nothing.
There's nothing. You could just flip and rotate this way, rotate this way. Or you ready for something crazy? Retake the high ground, continue the rotation and contest it from here. With your slide, like there's so many things that you guys can like just ring around the rosy, and it's gonna be about which team actually hits the shots and which team actually takes the space better. Because there is no real, if you don't have the opportunity to actually be able to get a speed push onto JQ, then you have to be able to rotate away. So here's the TLDR. You ready? You're either 3-head or you're 5-head. Don't 4-head. You get what I'm saying? You either group up with your team 3-2-1. There's a wall opportunity right here. Push. If you don't get it, you play the big brain, control space, control off angles, and so on. I mean, look at this. Look at what you're doing. Look at what you're doing. This fight is actually still winnable because you're literally just playing Tracer with Mei. You see this?
Yeah,
I mean, seriously. Like, look at that. You actually just clutched the fight from that, right? So start with that as an option in mind immediately, and don't wait. Wall right now, do not wait. 2-head this right now. You see this? 2-head it right now.
Yeah, perfect 2-head opportunity.
Perfect 2-head opportunity to just wall her right there and split off the Lucy if you wanted to contest. Prevent her mostly, make the Kiriko have to wall climb up, but mostly just prevent her from ducking to cover. Like, where's your wall value here? Go.
Oh yeah, I didn't wall.
Do it now. So I'm putting a lot of emphasis on you, just because obviously you're here. But also I think it's like the overall philosophy that everyone in your team needs to be considering.
Okay.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Let's keep going here. And then here it's just like individual mechanical errors. Surprisingly,
well, yeah, I went a little too deep for that.
Yeah, I think you also canceled your ice block.
Take a look at Perk. Take a look at Perk's POV. This is quite humorous. Kiva, did you see this? Did you see this?
I did not see this.
Take a look. This is the reason he was yelling at you.
That's
no. It's here.
Oops.
Oh my days, dude. So
maybe that a lot.
Maybe Samito's right. Freaking supports, man.
Yeah,
man.
Crazy.
Broken roll.
I never ditch my DPS.
That's cap. That is cap.
Listen. Awkward says damage. So I'm maybe this is the solution here. Okay, so
He's a big awkward subscriber. It definitely does damage.
I am not. Okay.
That's true.
I was evil Kiba this scrim. Remember?
Oh yeah, he was trying to heal more. Evil Kiba heals more.
What do you guys see here? Now, another thing you have to consider as well is like the 2-head versus 4-head decision, or 3-head versus 5-head. My bad, a common mistake. Look at the old economy here. You know what I'm saying? How does that affect our decision here?
Definitely, we could go more 2-head because they only have one ult.
Yeah,
and it's only a rush ult.
Well, also it's exactly that's the specific thing. It's like we have the rush ult advantage here, so maybe 2-head or 3-head it feels more attractive. But okay, wait a second. We're gonna Alex Jones this, man. We're gonna go into like the 7th dimension, okay? Their ult is a poke ultimate. So where is their Sojourn going to be set up? Obviously, if she can.
The left high ground, which
on an angle, like just in general on an angle. So do we want to set up our own 2-head, 3-head ultimate? Or do we want to go back and play 5-head off angle Overwatch dive contest so that their Sojourn doesn't get value from her Sojourn ult?
Well, I think we instantly take left side high ground here. I definitely was not because we were thinking that deep. We were just thinking, I don't want this Sojourn high ground.
Yeah, sure. But but you kind of see what I'm saying, right? Like, do you want to play to your Lucio with your Mei so you guys get good JQ or good Blizzard value? Or do you want to play to deny their ability to get the poke ultimate value on an angle?
Okay, I see.
I feel like you should just deny their thing and then go 2-head.
Works for me.
Run them down.
Because
this is so sad. No. I cry every day. I cry.
Maybe the
Makes
Bronze
me so
Mercy
sad.
mains are right about DPS players.
Bro, it was just such a lucky move, man.
And
I
see,
would've hit 5.
okay. So I don't want us to overthink things too much. But do you see now why our ability to disengage has failed? Why? Because this is a five head play, right? You're on an angle and you're setting up from an angle. So then if we want to kite the Sojol, can we?
Not really, because you have to punish the blizzard.
Right. Well,
If
you
it-
can't.
if it
Like,
would've
where's
landed.
our where's our wall? Right.
Oh yeah, I see.
There's no kite anymore. It's dead in the water, and so that's why my BAP dies, because look how close my BAP is. Why is my BAP so close, ladies and gentlemen?
Because we thought we were going in.
Because we thought we were going in. We thought we were two-heading with Blizzard. So you had the question of why is my BAP dying to the JQ? Well, that's why.
Well, yeah, that fight I could have answered.
I think positionally, I was kind of shitting the bed this game.
I mean, it's hard. Like, you look at that and you're like, is that really your fault necessarily? I mean, maybe, not really.
That one's on me.
Yeah. Okay, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? 2-head, 5-head here? What's the play?
Off angles with overclock and window.
I think so too. Like, let's be honest here. Are you going to be able to get a wall and rush down the JQ in the position that, not just the ults, but also
really.
look, this choke sucks. You're not getting a kill in the tank here. So how do you 5-head it?
Send your
Probably
Soj
send
to high ground and have him
just right side,
overclock.
yeah.
Right side early.
Soj Lucio,
one.
right side. Ram May holds cart. And then BAP plays really far back, I think, probably. Like back here. What do you guys think?
Oh boy.
Do you think because he has window?
I think so, because what are we playing for to open?
Overclock, I guess. Window's
Overclock, right?
just needed.
Right. OC is the easier one to set up because the OC is the one we're doing over here. Now, if you wanted to flank BAP window, that would be fine with me. But yeah, I think probably back here. And the reason also back here is because what else does our BAP have to worry about?
The rush.
The rush, the beat, the potential of blade that you may or may not have tracked as well, right? So, food for thought. Now, the question is are we going to get anywhere close to a halfway decent setup? The answer is probably going to be no. BAP window is fine here, but to be honest with you, it's a little risky. Yeah, this. Do you know what this is? This is what I love to call a 2-head setup for a 5-head play. This is a poke war, right? With how we're playing, yeah.
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 We
don't have a position like it's supposed to.
We have no positions. We have no angles. So they can do ready, S, and cover. That's it. That's all they need.
Okay, well, their Sojourn doesn't, but that's on her.
The Sojourn's a jackass, yes. There's actually, so do you see how easy it is for them to disengage? Whereas if you use this here, much harder to disengage. And then if they disengage, we don't stack ultimates. We walk out of the choke for free with the one ultimate that we used, and then we have all the off angles for our second ultimate for when they re-engage.
You layer like lasagna.
You layer like lasagna, the Spylo thing. That's it. And the funny thing is, by the way, the kill that you get isn't even on main. It's actually on the flank. Like, look at the May. So even when you do it wrong, you're doing it right.
Well, I proceed to make maybe the most horrendous off angle of all time, and they just run over the front line.
And geez,
so
why does our front line keep getting run over? It's a second.
I didn't have wall for it.
Okay, yes, but also, why is my Baptiste and why are my Sojourns? Why are they here?
As opposed to like on the high ground grill, back right.
But why are they here is the question. It's not like if where should they be instead, but why are they here?
We're going in.
Yeah. We've used ultimates. We failed our setup so badly that we're trying to take space. But the problem with taking space like this is a 2-head or a 5-head taking space.
Probably a 2-head because they got the rush.
You're running it down main. Well, you're just running it down main. That's 2-head. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But you're running it down main. Now they have rush. This is not where your Baptiste wants to be. So if we were to take space here because we screwed up our ultimates, how would we be taking space? Where would our spacing be?
Take space onto like the high ground angles.
Yeah,
like
BAP walks up top here. Probably would be a good spot, right? Lucio May maybe on the angle, maybe Sojourn up here. Ram just holds the corner. You guys get what I'm saying, right? Like if you're gonna waste ultimates, oh crap, guys, they kited it all out. That's okay. Let's take some off angles and make it really difficult for them to get beat Kitsune rush value.
Okay.
You guys see what I'm saying? Again, the idea here is that it's okay to two-head. Two-head is great. Like two-head is like the foundation of NA Rush and has been for like 5 years. Group up, run it down main. But it only makes sense when you have the setup for it or the ultimates for it. You guys didn't. You guys now lose. You're trying to two-head into a team that has a better two-head solution than you do in the Kitsune Rush. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they can run it down main definitely a lot better.
They can run it down main, right? They were down one and they ran it down main successfully because they had 3 ultimates with which to do it with. You guys had 0. Does this all kind of make sense?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Do we 2-head or 5-head? Look at the comp, look at the map, look at the ults. And you don't even need to get the read right. Like this is something that like in the match, it's going to be a lot harder to make this reads quickly, especially in the scrimmage and so on. But you could practice making these reads. Like right now, what do you guys think? 2-head, 5-head? What do you guys think?
2-head.
2-head, okay.
Blizzard
2-head
and Ram.
Great, looks good to me. How would we set that one up? It's even better if you could get a little bit of 5-head set up into your 2-head. So how do we set it up?
Try and take space and then like turn the corner with probably Blizzard.
I think I just like die instantly here.
Well, why do you die instantly here? If you guys want a 2-head, you guys ready for this? If you guys want a 2-head successfully, sometimes a little bit of 5-head makes the 2-head feel that much better, like we just said.
Because you would want your BAP top right.
This is what's going to kill your Baptiste on the 2-head.
Yeah, exactly.
So what you would do is you go ahead.
I think I try to stop them, but Boop is terrible, so it doesn't get them.
Right. Well, it's probably also not helping that like we might be doing a 2-head push just while you're trying to 5-head clear at the same time. So what you should do here is you should put your Sojourn, your Mei, I don't think your Mei can get up there, but like your Mei could even set up here, start poking off, Ram, maybe throw a Vortex up there, Lucio. Just clear them off, make them drop, and then, okay, now we can 2-head. Literally turn our brains off, run it on mid, win.
Because they have no angles, we just like Blizzard.
Right. There's no fear out of just running it down because we can actually 2-head properly. But the problem is that we're not actually setting that up. Like we need more attention here, less attention on trying to get our Ram, because everyone's thinking right now, Ram Mei, Ram Mei, Ram Mei, Ram Mei. And then we're losing on an off angle, right? Give these guys credit. This is a brilliant setup from them. Do you see this?
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard. It's really hard for you guys to 2-head this because they're setting up an off angles really well. Now you could say that that's just what their comp wants to do in general. Yes, but especially in these old situations. So you guys got outplayed.
They could just outplay your ults. We haven't even used them yet, right?
Right. I mean, who are you going to Ram Mei ult here, right? JQ maybe, but she's so far away. And then also for you to get to her, you have to run right down the gauntlet. And it at least forces you to do your homework. You have to clear out space first before you commit. And then now they're just totally disrespecting you. Now you actually could maybe... Yeah, no, you're dead.
No, we just called I die cart and they run away. Basically.
Yeah. Makes sense. Can you clear them off of top? I actually don't even know. You should try. Nice that's a boop. That works. Oh. All you need now is like some sort of cohesive like 3-2-1. 2-head. Yeah. I mean, it's okay. It does the job. Yeah, I mean, it does the job. They had no ultimates there. And again, that is their advantage. Like, you guys don't have that vertical mobility, so you're going to have to try and clear out as much space as you can, but it's going to be difficult. Okay. But certainly, whenever you can, do your homework first. You guys are getting 2-headed. Now, you guys have beat. Maybe this is all on purpose. I think this is all on purpose, surely.
It was all the rules.
Yeah, yep.
All on purpose.
I think the call was when the QE is out to just like go on her at that time.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Cam almost got booped. I didn't even realize.
This is just poor setup. We just need to be a little bit more cautious. Like, I just want to guys show you what's happening here.
He was in.
Yeah, this is something else. So then by the time
he was literally playing Clash of Clans.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice shot.
So yeah, I mean, really, you guys like didn't even 5-head or 2-head. Everyone's just like a super split. Oh my days.
Go.
Nice, guys. Maybe you guys need to play Clash of Clans. Maybe Clash of Clans is like the new aim trainer.
You see that boop on the queen?
I did.
Clash of Clans diff.
Clash of Clans diff, yeah. You guys have heard of Vax then, like in Kovacs? You guys need to be playing Clash of Clans. It's like it helps your macro coordination and your aim,
He was all tabbed in like what does he play? WoW? This perk plays WoW, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all grinding WoW.
This should be the easiest question in the history of the universe. 2-head or 5-head?
5-head.
Why?
Yeah, definitely. We have Tracer.
And
OC, Tracer,
rush.
Beat, Blade. Yeah. You're gonna have to be this. Like at this point, this is where you would sell like your Orisa. Like you're just like, Orisa, we don't like you. You're a scummy hero. You're just gonna die here. And you guys gotta like gank. Like obviously this is gonna be an incredibly difficult fight to win either way, but you're gonna try and like get some sort of positive CD trade, play to live, play for off angles, play to make them like the thing with you guys, and you guys have already seen it like twice from y'all's perspective where you had like all these ults, you're like, oh, we're just gonna run it down mid. And then all of a sudden you run it down mid and you're like, wait, where are they? Right? And that's kind of the problem. Like look, there it is, right? There it is. The only problem is what was our setup like for the 5-head? Do you see it?
Not great.
What the frick is Milk doing? Like what the actual frick is Milk doing right now? You know what I'm saying? Like we're not peeling this. We're not peeling this. It's not happening. It's a beat Blade. Get out of here, right? Instead, we should have been like Kiri on the flank, Sojourn literally in the spawn room right here.
You could literally walk back.
Literally sit in the spawn room, right? And Kiri's like right here pocketing Orisa, Lucio Tracer over here. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many things that you guys could have done, and you flubbed it, right? Now your Tracer was on an angle, and that's the only reason that this fight is even remotely winnable. Maybe not winnable, yeah. But you guys get what I'm saying, right? You guys get what I'm saying, right?
Because they have such a big ult advantage that you pretty much have to like do something.
Right.
Like fuck her to get any.
Exactly. By the way, if this ever comes on to a dive meta, the stuff that we're talking about here is dive. That's literally what dive is.
Well, I can assure you it won't be a dive meta for the next patch. The day of reckoning comes. There's 72 hours.
With what you see in your screen, do we 2-head or 5-head this?
I would say 5, because you don't want to rush into hotel when they have a big axe waiting for you, and they're gonna take like high. So we want to try and control the high ground, and then like we can poke them.
We could just force point, right? We could just force point. Now I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If you guys are on Ramattra, I would prefer a 2-head pusher.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
The reason why? Well, you tell me why. What do you see?
I mean, Ram's a lot more brawly in general.
I mean, well, obviously, right? But like, what about the setup from them? Inspires 2-head.
They're all in the same.
They're all
right.
each other.
We don't have to deny their angles, right? We don't have to deny their angles because they don't have any angles, right? So we just if we have the superior brawl, and they have no. That's like what I look like first thing in the morning for real. If we have the superior brawl and they have no angles on us, we do not have to do our homework. We just run it down their throats.
Okay, yeah, because they've had a poor position.
Poor positioning, right? Seconds. Really. Now, if their Sojourn was up here, right, with like Kiri or Lucio, or the Genji was like snaking through here, it might be a little scary for us to do that, but they're not. Now, the reason why I would still think 5-head's fine here is because you guys are on the SIG. The question is are you guys going to actually take that setup positioning? Kind of looks like you're starting to. Maybe the timing is a little bit off here, right? Like where you'd want your Lucio Sojourn to get there a little earlier. It still might work though. It still might work. Like this in theory looks good. Like look at how freaking deep she's having to go. Yeah, this is fine.
I'm like,
this is fine. This is just poorly executed in terms of like the micro and so on. Like for example, right here, Milk. Once you see this, you obviously need to be in a better position for that boop, right? Like she needs to be going backwards. The other thing as well here too, micro. That probably needs to hit JQ. And then obviously,
like when you say hit her, you mean like she's behind it?
No. I'm talking about the rock. I'm talking about the accretion. Needs to hit the JQ. Okay. Yeah. Just to kill the push. And then also, like frankly, here, like something probably should have died in this rotation more so.
I died with cryo.
And you died with cryo. Yeah, you died with cryo. So there's like a lot of things here. And I don't even know if we got lamp off. Okay, where's my shift here?
Yeah, I'm probably
classic.
I mean, you needed it there, but also I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but Sojourn's disruptor shot does damage when you stand inside of it. So it's a little known fact. Oh my gosh, this guy. I mean, even as bad as this has been played mechanically, like no lamp, no ice block, accretion hits jack all.
Win, right?
I'm gonna be real. I thought it was just the queen there, so I repeat. Their whole squad was there.
Yeah, but you see, like this is why this feels so bad. I mean, look at the blue and look at the red. You see what I'm saying? You guys are actually down one. Oh, you guys are actually, you guys are actually down one. But look at the off angles that you guys control. Like, where are they supposed to go? You see this?
I mean, yeah, Perk and
it was a noble sacrifice.
It was a noble sacrifice because you guys get the 5-head setup that you wanted. It was just really poorly executed, so that's why
we didn't use 3 of our defense cooldowns, shift, land, or
and you still won.
But it still worked out.
Yeah, you still won. I don't like the bat position here. Just take this here, rotation. Don't pocket. Let your Lucio handle this. This sight line here is like money for you.
Yeah.
Maintain this angle here. This wall's fine. I will say as well for you. Yeah, I mean it's all right. It's all right. But yeah, this is fine. Like, do you notice how sweaty they have to try and get a kill and it still fails?
Yeah, because they sacrifice so much to get there.
Right. And it's the same thing too. It's like, oh, maybe we can reach the Mei. They have no chance of reaching the BAP. They have no chance of reaching the Sojourn. They also were not taking angles there. In fact, I think the only kill they got is because their Sojourn slid on an off angle. Am I right?
Yeah, I think
like
just
the second
ran it
fight
down
or the first fight?
Yeah. See, this is the only kill that they actually get is from a gank like this, right? They retook with a 5-head setup, but the Sojourn was unbelievably late. So yeah, okay. Nice job.
I think we end up winning the match as a whole because we just stay on Sigma and heavily outpoke them. I think that was our save.
Yeah. Well, Sig and Ram are both really good at these 5-head setups because they're such low resource tanks. So you could be a lot more ego with the way that your supports are positioned without worrying about your tank just dying.
Can you explain to me why Ram is a low resource tank? Because I generally think of him as being a lot higher than Sigma.
He's a high resource tank when he over the course of a fight, but when it's needed for him to be low resource, he will be low resource.
Blocks. Yeah,
he will shield or he will block, and he will live as long as you need him to, until you can actually help him do his thing.
Oh yeah, do you have sound ports on?
Pretty much. You can't just run down a Ram and kill a Ram because he doesn't have Curie or Bat Pocket, right?
Yeah.
And Mabel all of a sudden just started saying block, so we added a sound effect.
Block.
That's something else.
It's OP. Block's
good
OP.
catch. Good catch.
It's
Might
a
actually
good
get some
flux,
kills.
yeah.
It's everything. Notice everything's catching. They're trying so hard. Every setup for them has been 2-head. You notice this? Every single setup has been 2-head, and this is something that you guys are going to notice.
On defense, or because attack was.
Well, on defense, yes, but they're a lot of these teams are just going to run it down. Oh, kill the Sigma. Just rush on the Sigma. Rush on the Sigma. It doesn't work.
Honestly, I don't feel too bad going 14-14 in this match. Every time they're Genji into
I was 15-15. 15-15, by the way.
Right. The question though is what of those were avoidable? And in what ways could your setup have been better? This just feels bad because you died. This felt bad because your Sojourn died before the fight even started. You know what I'm saying? And then also in terms of micro, remember when you have a superior setup, you don't need to use CDs.
Yeah, you were talking about this in the last session. It was utilize your kit, not your cooldowns.
That's it exactly. Exactly. This is a total troll. This is also a total troll. This is also a total troll. What the heck? What should our attention be on right now? You see it? The Genji. He cannot. This is the 5-head setup, and this is what's really dangerous. You guys need to be spamming out this Genji, Lucio, whatever, Mei wall. I would legitimately rather our Mei use wall to go up here and clear this Genji. Yeah. Yes, than to wall out the JQ just to inconvenience the Kiriko slightly, right? And that's the thing is when you're playing Mei and you have these hybrid dive comps, your wall's a lot worse in the fundamental way of looking at things, but it's a lot better. Right, but it's a lot better when it comes to controlling space and verticality and so on. So we've used all our CDs, that's their Q, and this time they actually have a 5-head setup, which allows your Genji to get instantly on our BAP instead of reaching all the way from Mei. You see that?
Yeah, I see what you mean. When I watched the Backbone video, he was talking about just picking one person and making their life miserable, and I should have made it Genji that fight.
Right, and too often it's the enemy tank. Too often it's the enemy tank when you don't have the 2-head opportunity.
Yeah.
When you don't have the 2-head opportunity.
Also, terrible Blizzard. I tried to say people, it was just not even.
Yeah, it's like trying to catch it. It needed to be a lot deeper.
It really did, yeah. Also, I think I should have just saved it. We just take B-Blade and come back with 3 ults. Or 4 ults.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Yes, get rid of him. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Okay, go back. Good. Poke. Catch. Beat. Nice. Turn. Sigma lives.
I don't know what the heck
stuff should. I mean, this is where like you look at this here. I mean, something has to die, guys. Like something has to die. I mean, look.
It does. It's just delayed.
I mean, look at this. Look at the setup. It's a look at the setup. Like something has to die.
Yeah, that's something. Something has to die, and then I window, and then I kill someone.
I'm not sure. Like, this is where I just want to hear communication. Like, Genji should probably be the target number 1 priority, to be honest with you guys. Because your segment. Yeah, we should just be on that. We should be on that Genji. We should be on the Genji or the Sojourn. It's like this is just like mechanics and target priority. That's all.
Yeah, I put in our like notes. Target prio is one of our weakest elements, I would say.
I'm just curious, like, what happened here? Were we all in like the JQ? Were we all just confused?
I spent 99% of this fight in scared in cryo.
Leave her alone. Leave her alone. She's unkillable. She's unkillable right now. You don't have the positioning for it. Yeah, go for the Genji instead.
That can actually flush him out.
Like, same thing here, right? Look at the attention that this JQ is getting. Like, you have the advantage. Once that beat's live, you're cooking. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
We could have honestly just, like, ran choke, too. I mean, we just should have chose one option.
Yeah, sure. Like, you guys had all the setup here for anything that you wanted to. It's just like... And then I want to...
We're stagnant.
It's the same thing, by the way, with the cooldowns as well. I mean, it's not a terrible rock there because there was a chance that something actually gets killed here. But really try to, like, utilize... Like, a rock here would just be so nice. And then, obviously, just missing the CDs as well. It's honestly mechanics, guys. It's just mechanics. Mechanics and choosing the wrong targets. You guys still win it.
Yeah.
It's so ugly.
Our target prio is needs some work.
It's ugly. Okay. That's all right. 2 ults for 2 ults. You guys win it. I'll take it. 2 head or 5 head?
5 head.
It's got to be 5 head. It's got to be 5 head, and they got Kitsune. You know, you know what these guys are gonna do. You know what they're gonna do, right? You know they're gonna run it down main. They're gonna go straight for your Baptiste. I need my Lucio on my Sojourn. I need my Baptiste playing like hiding, almost like so far back. And Mei, honestly, like you could be up here, you could be playing back here. I mean, it's up to you. Like, there's a lot of options. I think the key thing here is like creativity is like super key. Whenever I coach dive, it always comes back to like creativity and then experience of like knowing what angles are good. There it is. We catch. Good catch. Why is my Baptiste here? Why is my Baptiste here? Oh my days.
I think my plan originally was to rotate that way.
This way?
And then they got sig-ulted. But then I don't know.
Here's where you rotate this way. Right there.
Yeah.
You know? And then we don't even get our lamp off again. Because the flex is fine. The flex does the job. It kills the push. It forces Suzu, gets Junker Queen low.
Almost like, kills her. Wow.
Right, yeah. I mean, that was a good catch. Like, you guys have the whole catch mindset, right? Where you guys are like playing angles, but it's not consistent. It's not consistent.
I think eventually later in the matches we later understand that because it's like
definitely it was a mid-set adaptation type of thing.
Yeah,
during the PS Friendship game, we were like, okay, let them make the mistakes.
But I'm glad to get confirmation about it because this match we end up losing, or this round we end up losing, but we end up winning the match as a whole, and I think it's because we started to utilize some of the things you're saying. Yeah. But it's still very good to get confirmation about it.
Right. I think the way to look at it, like I said, is just 2 head versus 5 head. Look at your ults, look at their ults, look at the comp, make a read.
So this fight, the call is made to flank around the right side. Like over by that mini.
Yeah, over here.
But I don't think any of us listened to it.
Yeah, I said it and it fell on deaf ears.
I mean, it has to be the play, right? You're going into beat Blade again, right? So like, there's actually no way that you guys win this fight without Lucio Sojourn on the flank, and then your Bat playing in Narnia and so on. Because how are you going to break this choke? Like, it's hard enough when you have the Ram to like hard force a 2-head play here, right? But it's even harder when you have the Sigma.
Because, I mean, even if they beat Blade and it kills one, if you're, like, split in 5 different positions, it's like you can get a kill in the meantime.
Let me explain this to you guys. If I'm coaching this red team here, and I see 5 members of the enemy poke comp, right, or with the better range and so on, all stacked in main, and not taking any sort of proactivity with off angles, we don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I think this fight ends up lasting a while because we're just, like
they just stand there, and time is wasting, and time. You need to force the issue, not by rushing in, but by rushing around. You know? And if you set the Lucio, Sojourn, and OC over here, they got two options. One, to dive the OC, which you could slide and amp out, or to push past the OC and push into your main, which your Baptiste should be able to catch, your Sigma Mei should be able to catch, and then your OC could just deepen on the flank.
Yeah.
And if you die, at least you made it competitive, and or there's a chance that your Sojourn just hits a shot and it's over.
We just gotta be proactive because they have two better ults than we do.
Right. The thing is, it's like when people think proactivity, everybody knows what proactivity means, right? It's two-head, right? No, not always.
It's making it so the fight is complicated.
Right. Making the fight complicated, taking space, creating a passive advantage. And do you see, this is actually so good from them. They want to two-head you guys, but you know what they do? Look at their setup.
They send their Soj right.
They five-head a two-head play. And that's the reason why this is so important, is because how much harder is it to kite this play?
Impossible, really.
Right. Like, where are you going to kite? The Sojourn's already on the off angle, and then they beat. It's impossible to kite, really, because their Sojourn was already ahead of time on the off angle. That's what Chris used to call back in London a cut. I don't know if it's like a Philadelphia Fusion term or whatever, where it's like you want to push, so you have somebody to kind of catch the angle or catch the flank. You know, they could have sent the Genji on the flank here.
Like a pincer attack.
Right, a bit of a pincer, right? So that, like, it's kind of like what we're talking about with a retake here, right? Remember when we were like asking here? Send this guy here, right? Fight. So then we can actually flank around deep and so on. But yeah, you always want to cut if you can. Two-head?
This ends now.
Sure. Run. Unlucky.
I was like, no, there's no way this guy lives. It's like,
I think you guys are probably okay. Yeah, you guys are fine. I actually really like the ults and stagger situations, because it makes them fight. It's just fighting dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like, you use that OC there, you guarantee that you just clean them all up and they don't even get a recontest. That feels like so anticlimactic, but you won the fight. You know?
Yeah, and now we have 4 more ults.
Yeah, it's broken. I think it's really, it's especially broken in ranked.
Pretty sure we burn all of them and lose.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be a messy fight, right? You know, so layers, lasagna, all the funny stuff. So when in doubt, when there's going to be a messy ult fight, what's the default play? Two-head or five-head, usually?
Five-head.
Five-head, why?
Because if they take more angles than you and you trade ults evenly, they'll probably win.
That's it. The longer the fight goes, the more important positioning becomes. Whereas if you guys just had like beat, they had nothing and just go 3-2-1 group up, even with Sigma just run down the queen, you probably win. She just die instantly, right? But they're gonna Kitsune, and then they're gonna Suzu, and then they're gonna JQ ult, and like, look, what are we doing, guys? Like, what are we doing? Like, when I'm saying like angles, I'm not even saying necessarily like up here. Where else? How else could we change our positioning?
Right side mega, back right, like there.
May marking here. You know, even with Blizzard, May marking here. Your Baptiste holding this angle back up here. Lucio probably contesting the Lucio over here. The Sojourn back here, right? Just don't give them everything that they want.
5-stack into a rush. He didn't move. I don't know why. He was asleep at his keyboard. You can move right when you get Suzu, right?
I don't think he was expecting Suzu. Yeah, he was not expecting. He was not expecting Suzu. This guy, that guy's unreal.
Captain Cookie over here.
Captain Cookie. I mean, this is
all right. We lost
to
that, bro. GG. All right, what happens now? So what do we trade for? 3 ults for
2.
3 ults for
3 ults for 2.
3 ults for 2. And
for 3. For 3. Yeah. 3 ults for 3. 3 ults for 3. That's all right. Now what? What do you guys do? Two-head, right? Could you two-head this?
Go and run at them. Yes.
You could two-head this. What's the problem with this two-head though? What's my setup looking like?
We don't have 0 angles.
Trash. Not just 0 angles, but also your backline's lagging behind.
Yeah.
You would need this to be grouped up 3-2-1 push. Either push the off angles or just seriously just 3-2-1 rush it down main. I'm okay with either one.
I think we just flex Soj and it works out, but I don't know really what happens next.
But like the thing is, it's like if this gets Suzu, and so on, what should my Mei, Sojourn, Bap, Lucio be doing right now?
Ready to kill Queen.
Like, not like killing Queen right now. Like now.
Like right now. Yeah.
Like right now, need to be killing Queen.
Because Gary's attention is on her, and
right.
they can just rush.
The problem is the gap. So if you guys are gonna 2-head, this is why the NA hive mind works sometimes. Even at like contenders, because if you're super good at listening to each other and everyone's on the same page, you don't need off angles. You just need team play and everyone to be grouped up and pushing. If these guys are at the same time pushing Lucio or JQ, this fight would already be won.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
You guys this is where like the timing of things matters. I mean, timing always matters, but especially matters when you're 2-heading. Especially when you're 2-heading. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Okay.
So how did we lose here? What happened? I get messed. Yeah, third wall.
5-head this. Absolutely 5-head this, right? There's no ults in play. All that matters is positioning. Bap Sojourn, Lucio here. This doesn't look too bad. The only thing I would say here is I would, unironically, I think I would have my Lucio playing with Bap Sojourn. I think just based off of what you're playing into.
Okay.
Just because I don't think this is going to be a legitimate staging ground onto backline. I think they're just going to cheat and run it down right here, which is exactly what happens, right? Bam, right? You need to be there to defend that.
Yeah.
I'm also curious, where was their wall?
It missed. It just missed.
Oh, but you had it, didn't you?
Oh, like here?
Yeah. Oh, I guess you didn't have it in time. Because you could wall this like straight across in front of the JQ here, and this guy dies.
Yeah, the first one, I tried to wall their Queen's escape from the 12 seconds earlier, and it hit the lip of like where it dips down, and
yeah. I just think in general, y'all's catching hasn't been as good. Like that's good, right? Not so good. We talked about Milk's positioning already. Could probably be better. And then, by the way, we're talking about our 5-head setups. You know, like what angles are we holding, where are we holding, and so on. You know, like it just doesn't feel like these guys are being punished as much as they should. And then obviously we don't get a shift off in time.
I should have killed that guy.
So Sigma is fine, but overall, like our backline needs to do a way better job of like our pre-fight setups and then actually mechanically punishing this Kiri. I don't know if it's because we're putting too much attention on Queen or what. Like what? Yeah, like there's the cavalry is behind us. Like this Genji's getting away with murder. Because we should always have the setup and the cooldowns to survive that push, and then we should always have the mechanics to punish that push.
And then they just have 3 ults and we have them, so we just lose. We almost get like 4 of them then.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good attempt. It was a good attempt. You just lost the fight that you needed to win. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, so any of you guys taking notes here? Otherwise, I will type up some notes.
I wasn't. I'm probably gonna watch the VOD back and take notes.
Sounds good. Let's take some notes. So, big thing was what? What are some of the things to work before we go on to the next code?
2-head versus 5-head.
2-head versus 5-head. Group and rush versus taking angles, space, having the flexibility and knowledge to read. What were the 3 things that we have to read?
Ultimate.
Ults. Our ults.
Yeah.
What else?
Their
where
ults.
the other
Their
people are set up.
Right, their ults. Yeah, exactly. And composition. Actually, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It is their setup as well. Their setup. Our compositional matchup. That's a lot to read. So, as always, with every session that we'll do, I will always recommend breaking it down into simpler bites. So, what you guys could probably do is you probably don't even need to worry about like our compositional matchup or our setup too much. Just read like, hey, what ults do they have? What else do we have? What do we want to do? And start with that. Get a little bit better with that. Get a better read of like, hey, a Sojourn ult set up into beat. How do we make that work? You know, and then start to incorporate like, okay, how does like a setup? How does our compositional matchup change? Like when we're playing Ram versus JQ, you know what I'm saying? Like or JQ versus Ram and so on. And then the toughest one for sure is going to be, oh, they have angles on us. How do we take those angles back, then push, right? But one step at a time. What else? That was the big thing for sure.
General of the whole map. I'm trying to think here. There's a lot of micro stuff, but
a lot of micro stuff. Micro stuff when you have positional advantage. Use your kit, not your cooldowns.
Yeah.
That one definitely came up again a little bit, especially with Sigma.
If they have extreme ult advantage, you need to like be proactive, make something happen.
Advantage, be proactive with chaos / taking angles, not necessarily by running it down mid. Target priority in devolved fights.
Sorry, say that again.
Target priority in devolved fights.
Oh yeah. Like the really messy fight in like first gates was we should have like gone on Genji. So
yeah. Punishable. I forget anything else?
That was like most of the general stuff. I guess just like knowing when to. I mean, like at the start of the session we discussed knowing when to Lucio Soj off angle and knowing when to like pull back.
Well, now you know. Well, now you should know, right? Now you should know. 5 head setups Lucio is more attractive. 2 head setups Lucio is more attractive with tank. The exception with that rule would be if your tank is very fragile and needs the speed. Does that make sense?
Define tank being fragile. Do you mean like their character or the comp they're against?
Both.
Or both. Okay,
both, because nothing's in a vacuum. If you're playing JQ, she might be fine if it's a JQ mirror and they're not on like Reaper May, right? Like I don't think, like looking at the Genji Sojourn, I don't think even if they had a pretty significant roll advantage, if your JQ is really good with their shout and cover usage, she shouldn't necessarily always need speed. But like if they go Moira Reaper, you might need more Lucio pocket, but also you need less pocket on your Sojourn because there's nothing to contest her on the off angle if they're on Moira Reaper.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, we got a little bit more time. You guys want to look at a little bit more of another code?
Yeah, let's go ahead and look at. Okay, so what were our options in Milk? It was either Root or what?
Esperanza or Root 6. Esperanza was against Queen. Root was against like Brig Zen Sigma Tracer.
It was kind of a weirdo comp.
Yeah. We could probably let's do Root because we struggle with typically.
Okay.
We didn't.
Esperanza was like a lot closer though, right?
I mean, we're not going to have a full time to go through the full map, so it's going to be more about like questions about the comp that you're playing versus and like basic stuff, Okay.
Yeah.
So what is this going to be more of what you'd be interested in looking at?
Maybe we look at third point because
that
like, we struggled on third point. Yeah, we took it in the end,
like the very end.
The attack of our third point.
Can I ask a question?
Don't remind me.
No. Yeah. Okay.
I joined late. I know you probably don't like to repeat yourself, but like, can you?
I freaking hate repeating myself. Makes me so irrationally angry. Go ahead.
Can you explain the 2 head 5 head thing? Because I'm.
Yeah. Actually, screw it. Trios, you tell me what the 2 head 5 head thing.
Okay, it's basically like 2 head is like NA rush. You go as 5 down the choke and you fight them, right? And that can be good sometimes in scenarios where you have the brawl ultimates and they don't, or scenarios where you have the advantage in terms of like the tank matchup up close and they don't. And 5 head is more like staging, positioning, taking off angles, trying to deny their off angles, and like whittling them down from better positions. It's a lot more like dodge and weave, band in and out depending on what's going on. It's a lot smarter, but sometimes it's better to just run in there and press W.
So like when you're at like an advantage, like specifically an ult advantage, like 2 head tends to be the play. And then if you're like kind of
ult advantage with like May Ram, but ult advantage with like Sojourn, you probably want to have her on an off angle and like think about the fight more, tactically.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So you guys nailed it. Okay.
Oh my god, this is
so comp matchup here. So this is probably the most important thing that I could probably tell you here. You might look at this from what we just talked about and said, "Oh, we need to be more 2 head, right? Like look at the comp. We need to rush it down, run it down." And I think you need to remember that they know that too. So you need to rethink how the map is going to be positioned here.
They're just gonna be miles
sitting
away.
in the back of the map.
So it's gonna be
truck high ground.
And unfortunately, like unless you hit like a rock on Sig, he might not be two headable either, right? Like they might break BAP, they might break Maywall really fast. He saves shift and shield, and they get his lamp, and then you guys get murdered. So this is going to be super important. Just because they have superior poke does not make 5-head unviable. In fact, it can make it even more viable. What is the advantage of Lucio versus Zen?
Taking space.
Who is better in a close range?
Definitely
Lucio.
Obviously Lucio, right? That's the easy one. But how do you leverage that? What else does Lucio have over Zen? Who's faster?
Lucio.
So who could be more flexible with their positioning?
Definitely Lucio.
Who could be greedier with the angles that they take without getting punished?
Definitely Lucio.
What about Maeve?
I want you to go up to their truck and boop them off.
Do you see what I'm saying? So like my point is that you could do the whole like, think about it this way, all right? Is your Baptiste going to get necessarily punished for not having a Lucio married to him 24/7?
Not unless he's terrible and losing to a Tracer.
Right.
What?
Exactly. I could not put it better myself. But I guess what I'm saying here is that like when you look at these matchups, it can feel like, what am I supposed to do? Like we can't even reach the backline. Obviously, this is a good point for that backline. Like let's not lie, their comp is good. But your Lucio could go and hit missions with your DPS and squeeze these guys out of good sightlines, right?
Yeah,
like I look at this
like
here.
They did the like on KR first.
Exactly. Like I look at this here and I'm like, all right, let's just focus cart. Let's focus cart. But at some point here, who's to say that we can't wall in front of, you hear me? In front of the Sigma Sojourn and send our Lucio May Sojourn sliding up to here from this
Just
position.
trying to get them all low. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like we wall in front, we amp speed through one. Where are these guys going to rotate to?
We would have to either back up to spawn or drop, and
drop to main.
Put them in a lot worse positions.
And exactly. And then if they're inaccessible, we then turn back to the tank with superior positions now. And what are they going to do? They're going to retake into a Lucio May Sojourn up here? No.
Yeah. It's going to be hard for them, I mean.
Right. So my point being is that if you get stuck here, you should not be stuck here. You should not be stuck here is my point. Oh.
I tried to be smart. I had cryo. I just was gonna like, I'll wall
ego
and not
it,
cryo.
ego it. Yeah, ego it. But yeah, the key thing here is you guys cannot take this fight on main when they're controlling. Like when they have a 5-head setup in you guys, you cannot 2-head.
Yeah, but we actually spent like 3 minutes just banging our head against the back truck high ground and to no avail. Eventually it works. Out of war of attrition, I guess.
This is a good 5-man rotation. Okay.
So this is interesting. I don't want to hear your thoughts on this. The call here was flux the BAP and then like try and just kill him from long range. And I was more thinking we should flux the Sig and just blizzard it, right? And the BAP doesn't work, but I think it's mainly because we weren't really set up to all shoot him like I thought we were because they were dealing with the Tracer. What do you think is a better option in this scenario?
I don't think either one. I think either is fine. I mean, I agree with you that you could absolutely kill the Sigma here. But I think that the Bat Flux doesn't even get bad value. Like it forces the Sojourn out of bad position. It definitely forces the high ground. The problem is that we just mistime our push. You know, we needed to deal with the Tracer first and then brute force it from there.
Yeah.
I mean, we just, unfortunately, like we keep rushing things a little bit. And that's like the mindset is like, you guys don't have to rush things. You just have to use cover. Like it sounds so stupid, but you have to use cover. Like when you're playing here, you cannot peek the Zen. You can't do it. You need to get here, you flux, and then you duck behind again. And you focus on whatever's behind you. And overall, I think in general, like you should be a lot more creative with how you're approaching these fights. So he has flux again. Oh my days.
Yeah, I've had Blizzard for like genuinely 5 fights at this point.
What is going on here?
The Blizzard incident. That's going on the iceberg.
Oh my god, man.
Stop peeking. It's the peeking that's killing you guys.
Yeah, that happens
Trying to cross,
a few times.
We get hard punished.
It absolutely. You guys have to be so. Oh my days. Okay, so this is partially, I think, an understanding issue. Like how you guys need to approach this. Don't like slam your head against the wall. Utilize cover more. Be more decisive. Be more creative with how you're approaching things. But also, it's like you guys we just can't peek. Baps and Sojourn. Like you just can't do it. Like it needs to be a decisive, cohesive play at once.
Don't look.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I waited out E. I did wait out E. I just didn't expect the 1-2 punch.
And he forced strength.
But then we also use our BAP window, and we still have not contested much space. We're still, by the way, we're still focusing on the Sigma. Still.
Yeah, okay, this is egregious. The Zen walks by me to my left, and I'm so mad that I missed the blizzard. I don't even look at it. I was.
This is not real. This is not real.
I know, bro. I know. He does go down, but like, yeah, I should try Zen maybe.
Wait, do we get this?
Yeah, we win.
We do. No, we do win out of brute force attrition, but it wasn't pretty.
All right. You guys see what I'm saying when it comes to like the creativity here and like closing the distance? You guys
when
have
they
to
have such a strong position, we need to do something about it, and it's gonna have to be something that's not like peak main and try and poke them.
It doesn't even necessarily need to be rushed. It just needs to be done. Like you could even have your team focus Sigma from here and then rotate here, like speed into here, focus Sigma from here. I mean, think about that. Shoot Sigma from here, avoid this, wait for a wall in front of the back line here so they don't shoot you, speed up to them, clear them out, then go back, actually go back and shoot the Sigma again. Like it just needs to be like methodical and patient, one step at a time. Avoid, like you're not peeking until you're playing up closer to them. Just remember that they cannot punish you for taking more aggressive off angles because they don't have the mobility that you guys have. They don't have the self-sustain that you guys have. That's the key thing.
Yeah, I guess Zen, Bat, what was it? Sojourn, Tracer? I guess Sojourn and Tracer are pretty mobile, but...
Yeah, Sojourn and Tracer are pretty mobile, but you always compare what's different between the compositions. Mei versus Tracer. Tracer will take deep angles on your backline, but Mei is also not going to get punished for taking any position that she wants. Right? And then you compare Lucio versus Zen. Lucio versus Zen, I mean, Zen just can't take any position that he wants at all. He has to be way, way, way smarter about when and where he positions, if that makes sense. Abuse that. It's tricky, but it's like, it kind of goes back to that hit squad five ahead setup where you guys just need to practice that a little bit more, I think.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
For sure.
Any questions? Because we talked about a lot of different stuff. But yeah.
All right, team. I'm sitting in Narnia for the rest of the games. More evil Kiva. Good luck.
Well, that's the thing is you can actually stack if we're two-heading. Right?
Yeah.
You could absolutely, if we're beat engaging, you probably should stack so you don't get super isolated. But yeah, it's all about like knowing when and where and so on.
No, I don't think I have a ton of questions. I think a lot of it was answered. The issue is I don't know anything about the game in 3 days. So hopefully, I mean, the fundamentals will still be there, but
the fundamentals will still be there.
That like dead in the water.
Yeah, the fundamentals will still be there. Two-heading versus five-heading will still be there. Angle control, layering will still be there. It's all still going to be there. The way that the heroes function just might be a little bit different. That's all.
Yeah, like their strengths and weaknesses.
I remember people were like, I will ego this one moment. I remember talking with Chris prior to Overwatch 2, and he's like, we're gonna have to reevaluate. I was like, dude, I promise you it's gonna be the same stuff. It's gonna be off angles, it's gonna be map control, it's gonna be the same stuff, it's gonna be the same stuff. The way and it was. In fact, the reads that we made of like, map control and supports and DPS having more viability and like more responsibility was right on too. So it's like it's just gonna be we'll wait and see. But it's the first person shooters are still gonna function the same.
Yeah, it's not like it's suddenly a point and click event. Well, I guess it is, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. No other questions?
Unless you guys have any, I don't think so.